story tonight is known as the parable of the two sons. This story is found in Matthew chapter 21, and it goes like this. A man had two sons. He went to the first and said, "Son, go work today in the vineyard." "I will not," the son answered, but later he changed his mind and went. Then the father went to the other son. He said the same thing. The son answered, "I will, sir," but he did not go. Matthew 28, those are verses 28 or 21, verses 28 through 30. So Jesus finished telling the story, this parable, and he says, which of the two sons did what their father wanted? So which son? The first son or the second son? Which son did what their father wanted? The second one? The second son says, "I will, sir," but he did not go. So the first one maybe did, but he didn't. He told him no originally. He said, "No, I'm not going. I'm not going to do this." And then it hit him that maybe that was something he should do, so he does it. And like Jace in the story, that son had a bad attitude, but he eventually went and did what his father had asked him. The second son was like Willie in our skit. Willie had a good attitude and said yes to his dad right away, but then decided he wasn't going to do it because something else came up. So real obedience is about doing what we're told to do even when we don't want to. That's obedience. That's what we're called to do. Perhaps some of you play sports, and there's days when you really don't want to go to practice. It's hot outside. Your friend calls you and says, "Hey, let's go swimming." And that sounds like a lot more fun than going to baseball practice or going to soccer practice or putting on pads and going to football practice. But because you respect your teachers and your coaches, you practice on those days even when you don't feel like it. You have obedience. Over time, this practice pays off. You discover the good benefits of being obedient. You get better at the sport. You excel in the games. It makes you better. And when we're obedient to these parents, to these coaches, and to our teachers, we're being obedient to God, because that's what God wants us to do, is to treat others the way we would want to be treated. So we're going to be obedient to them so that they'll be obedient to us. God, you never know what God might ask you to do, so be ready to be obedient. The Bible tells us in Jeremiah 29, verse 11, that God knows the plans he has for you. You just have to be willing to go where he sends you, and do what he asks of you. Okay, so that's the real obedience, is going where God sends you and doing what God tells you to do. So that's what you guys are going to learn more about tonight through your video time, through your crafts, through your games,